with the cover. So I'll put that aside and we'll start working on the cover. That's a different task. So for that we need the cover. This needs a change a bit. The screws that hold the cover are a larger self-tapper. Stainless steel, everything's, but it needs a bigger bit. But so we'll change that. We ready? Now, this is a little conservative. I'll explain later. I like this. It is possible to get another ½ inch of extra cover by packing everything up. But this is the conservative, what I'll call the conservative way. It's the easy way for someone just doing one and doing the first one. This is the easy way. Now, it's always better to pre-drill. That way, when you're putting the screws in, they've got a hole to follow. Now, the separator is designed to be about 12 millimeters out from the box. The box itself is 23 centimeters square. The separator itself is 25. So you've got at least 10 millimeters clearance. So what I do is position it and then just push it back to the face and make sure this folded side is about that distance. It's sitting on the table. Need to explain. What I've done is set the base that I've made, then one level, and then the cover level. Make sure it's the cover level that hasn't got any entrances. And that puts the cover level at about the right height. I say about, if you've got a centimetre of ply underneath just the centerpiece, that gives a bit more benefit from the shroud. But I have another way of doing that, which I'll show in another extension of the video. So, and just holding the stainless steel to the cover. That drills one hole. Then this side, just center it on the side, about the 10 mil each side, and flat on the base. Turn. Again, a 10 mil. You've only got one corner here, so you make that about the 10. Now, Western red cedar is very soft. So these screws will go in, but pre-drilling just means they go in that much easier and are less likely to split timber. Now this is the interesting part. Now I've played with all sorts of things. I put double-sided tape, but my fingers have been variously modified over the years with injuries. But I can just manage this with 2 fingers. I hold it, put the screw through, and I can see to start the screw in the hole. But it is only just that fitting is just a spacer. It just achieves that 10mm space, no more. Then turn it. These get progressively harder as you go around, because the thing gets more rigid. I'm sure those of you with less damaged fingers or less thumbs for fingers will find that this easier. This is actually a roof sealing washer, and you make sure that small diameter is against the timber. And put it through the washer, and you can see it to enter it into the hole that you've drilled. But that's the routine I've done with that. Now that achieves the shroud on the cover. Now it then has to be inverted. Because there's a little bit more work to be done. This has to be fitted. Now I do run a bit of tape, a bit of adhesive around the outside. I seem to have a spider on my container of glue. Now this could be put, you could fix this to start with before you assemble. It's personal preference, I guess. I've just found on occasion it got in the way of the assembly. Oops. Now we are back to number 1 Phillips head screws. Now the important thing here is these screws have to be right to the outside, typically within the outside 5mm, because you've got 18mm max of timber underneath. So I put one in each corner, but I'm systematic because it just may be just make sure the screw goes down firm. I work around. If you go from corner to corner, the ply just could be up in the middle of the side. So I'll go along the side to make sure the side is down. Oops. I did say that my damaged fingers don't help holding these things. And it pays to be systematic, one side then move. Stainless steel unfortunately doesn't magnetise well, so makes it just a little bit hard to hold these things. I'm going to demonstrate the use of these brackets for mounting the shroud to the cover level, as distinct from the spaces that I've normally used in the past. Just something I'm experimenting with, printed with 3D printer. They do work. They clip on at the line up with the hole, like so. But each one has a small bracket on it which supports the level in its place. The biggest problem is it's not a particularly substantial support, and Now, I still suggest the need for drilling. To start that screw. And still rotate around the shroud. Just make sure the spacing is about equal, and we have to make sure that this is lined up. Just remember, those brackets are fundamentally plastic, so there is the limit to their strength. And again, you've got to make sure your space is about the centimetre. Make sure this level is sitting on that little ledge. What this does is make use of every last millimetre of the height of the shroud. And we bring that centimetre clearance down over in between the box. And you'll note this example has got an entrance into it. That's because this is a level that, when I put it together, had a twist in it. I'd made a mistake in the assembly, so what I'll do is to put a stopper in that, so short stopper, needs to be shorter than that. So that's that's the way those brackets support the shroud. Now the tile can be the gravel provides an element of, I call it thermal mass, others may call it something different. The objective is, if the box is exposed to sun, heat, intentionally or otherwise, it will slow the rate of heat absorption from the top. Now, these tiles, the challenge is to get the tile square on the box underneath, and you can't see it, you can't tip it. But the box lines up on the pattern. You can see it's pretty much square on those lines. Once you've done a few, you can feel it. I can line it up on the sides, but I simply look underneath. To line up on those edges, and that makes sure that those 4 holes are in the top. Then I can pre-drill the tops. Now, if you're going to pre-drill all of them, just make sure you don't move that tile, and certainly don't rotate it. Because those holes aren't fixed position, they're a unique position. These neoprene washers can be done with less. I found if I just have a simple washer underneath these screws, the chance of, as the screw going in, of putting too much pressure on the tile and breaking the tile was too great. So putting a neoprene washer like this in gave the flexibility. And the objective is not to take it all the way down, it's just until the screw exerts pressure on the top of the tile. And that's the cover fixed.